My next guest has grave concerns over Senator Cruz's eligibility to run for president. Lawrence Joyce is in Chicago. He is suing Senator Cruz ahead of the Illinois primary. Welcome, Lawrence. Glad to have you here. Why are you going this far? This is a big suit. It's a big idea. But to sue a candidate, why do you feel so strongly?
Well, thank you for having me on. I feel so strongly because as I began to research this in December, I wondered whether Ted Cruz was a natural-born citizen. The more and more I researched this point, the more and more I became convinced that Ted Cruz is not a natural-born citizen of the United States and is not eligible to be president. I prefer Dr. Ben Carson, but perhaps more to the point, if Ted Cruz is the nominee of the party, then in September, people like Congressman Alan Grayson of Florida and other Democrats will go ahead with their vow to challenge Ted Cruz's right to be on the ballot. The Democrats will get to cherry pick whatever states, whatever county courthouse they go into in Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, etc., and could wind up with a string of 3 or 4 or 5 victories in a row. Funding for the Cruz campaign would dry up immediately. His numbers would sink in the polls rather dramatically.
No, this would be very detrimental, to say the least. But I want to ask you, Lawrence, before we go further in the conversation, is anyone paying you to bring this lawsuit? Are you personally benefiting it in any way? And you mentioned you're a Dr. Carson supporter. Is that campaign working with you?
Well, first of all, I'm going on my own. And nobody is supporting me. Nobody's giving me any support at all, either legally or financially. So I'm pretty much on my own in this respect. So
in that sense, you feel like this is your duty as a citizen and somebody who knows the law well to do this?
Yes, absolutely. And the thing that shocks me, I'm beginning to have serious doubts about Senator Ted Cruz. He used to be my second choice. But as I researched this point, it began to dawn on me that Senator Ted Cruz has been whistling past the graveyard now for several years about this issue. Then when I filed my objection with the State Board of Elections early in January, he had the opportunity to file a statement defending why he supposedly is a natural-born citizen of the U.S., and instead he filed a motion to dismiss. Now, the hearing officer, James Tenuto, disagreed with Senator Cruz on point and agreed with me that the board had the authority to hear the case, although the board disregarded the recommendation of its own hearing officer. And so I sought judicial review, and Ted Cruz has filed a motion to dismiss. Now, just in glancing at this motion to dismiss, I will be looking at this over the weekend. I haven't seen the case yet, and which he refers to, but it's possible that the whole thing could wind up being defective solely on the grounds that I served his attorneys instead of serving a copy of the complaint to Senator Cruz personally. What this means is that Senator Cruz is no longer walking away from this issue. He has put his track shoes on, and he is running away from this issue as hard and fast as he can.
Lawrence, we know that you have a court date next week. Come back and tell us about that and how it went. Is that a deal?
Well, I will be filing something next week, and then there's a hearing set for Tuesday, March 1st.
Okay. We're going to reach out. Lawrence Joyce, we thank you very much. In the meantime, glad to have you here.
You're welcome, and thank you.